Welcome back to At the Creative Table, a space where we pull up our chairs, put our cameras down, and invite you to sit with us as we talk honestly about creativity, calling, and the process behind the lens. Our host today at the Creative Table, Ruby.
Ivy.
Chris.
And today we are sharing an episode. This episode, y'all, is really for every creative person who didn't know what to do but showed up anyway. So it's what we wish we knew when we got started. And we're back at
Horror Lodge
Yes.
Studios.
Shout out to Horror Lodge. So let's get into this episode. What's on the table today? So talk with us about, we'll see who wants to take this question first. What do you wish you knew when you started that would have saved you stress early in your business? Go ahead, Ivy.
I think I wish I would have known how important having systems was
That's good.
and how much it can relieve the anxiety, even though like setting up the systems is a lot in the beginning. But once you set them up, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah, systems. What systems? Like, give an example.
Like HoneyBook or Pixie Set or any of the systems. I know someone that I know, they use like 4 different systems, but it's like to capture emails, to send out promos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it works for them.
Yeah, otherwise you're doing it manually, right?
Yeah.
And I could see how there could be stress around that because, like, there's editing time, there's marketing time for the business, and you have to do it all. So what about you, Chris? What do you think you wish you knew that it would have saved you stress early on?
I'm like Ivy, systems, but also community where you feel comfortable enough to ask for the help,
Right.
where you're in the space to ask for help, because sometimes you can be around individuals and, you know what I mean, they're like gatekeeping, or they'll make you feel like, like, why are you asking me? You should already know. So just, I wish that I have known that, to be in a safe space with certain creatives like you guys. Like, hey, I don't know this, but can you help me? And not feel like I should already know. So I think that's both of those things was really.
Yeah. And I feel like our audience probably can relate to that too. Like we talked last time about starting, but now we're talking about what we wish we knew when we started, and like just to know that there's a community that's around, like, and that doesn't, you don't have to feel alone, right? To feel like you're starting.
And then what
Oh, yeah.
what do you wish that you would have known when you started?
I wish I would have known there's not as many eyes on me as I think. I think if I would have realized that, I probably would have promoted myself early on much differently. Because for me, as we've talked in the past, like a lot of it was like I'm comparing my chapter, 0 to somebody's chapter 20.
Right.
Right. And I'm thinking like, oh gosh, like those chapter 20 people are looking at me and they're going to be like, this is trash. Ha ha ha. Right. So I think I wish I knew like there weren't as many of like those eyes on me, and they weren't critical, because all of the feedback that I got from people was really just like, oh, like this is good. And I got suggestions. So another thing for the community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, y'all. So next question and like we're really just trying to encourage those who are just to grow. Like hindsight is 2020, to have grace for yourself. But our next question is, what mistake taught you the most? What mistake taught you the most? Ivy's laughing, so she must have it like right on.
No, that's not what I was
Okay.
But I think what mistake taught me the most was kind of just that irrational fear. Like that taught me that if I don't just go for it And if I don't just do it, then I'm going to be in the same position that I was in, you know what I mean? Or that I'm in, and not moving forward, not growing, not doing. So,
Yeah. Definitely we got to knock those fears out of the way and just realize like mistakes are opportunities to grow.
right.
Yeah. I can take this next. So what mistake taught me the most? And I'm answering this probably early on, not across like the whole half a decade that I've been shooting. But there was once where I got a new camera and I showed up to an event to do behind the scenes and was working in community, and the person I'm working with wanted me to shoot photos, but the camera I got was like more like this is the top video camera, right, within its price range and everything, and I wanted to do camera stuff. So eventually I had that conversation with them and I used the camera, but because I like just got it and like didn't even have any reps with it, just took it out the box, like the
Can't do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
The quality was not where my quality is now. And yeah, so that's me. That mistake taught me like use your gear right before you have to
Practice
show
with
up
it.
with it. Practice.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. What mistake Chris taught you the most?
All my mistakes taught me the
All of
most.
them.
Ooh, let me see. Let me think
Yeah.
of one. Well, definitely gear. And one was, I think I talked about this before, but my lighting, just assuming, everything was together and not really preparing the night before like I should. And when I did that, I realized that my strobe light, the battery had broke.
Right.
And I panicked and tried everything under the sun, like for hours to get it, and it just wasn't right. So that was like major, like, okay, prep a couple days before to, especially when you're bringing gear like that, because I wasn't in a place where I could just drive somewhere and pick up another one, nor could afford it because it was like a $800, piece of equipment.
Yeah.
And, well, it was 8. It is not 8 anymore. It's much cheaper because I got it years ago. But also, you can't order from Amazon. So yeah, but it circled back around to community where I could phone a friend.
Yes, absolutely.
And be like, hey, I'm in a bind. Can you help me out? So that was like top tier. So now I feel like I got to prep a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like in light of like whether it's fear or taking new gear, before you need to take it on a shoot, or even taking equipment that you haven't used in a while in a process. If we had somebody that's a beginner here sitting at the table with us, what would you say to encourage them so that they would, what are some things to know before you get started? And they can be high level or they can be, really quick bullet list or, long form.
I guess that mistakes are part of the process. The more you do it, the better you get.
Yep.
To make it easy for yourself, definitely put in systems and definitely have those. I can't think of the word. The calls in the beginning. Oh, definitely have those intro calls.
Yeah.
Making sure that you know what the client wants, and that if the project or if the assignment is actually something that's going to be good for you and good for them, because sometimes it's not always a good fit.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're talking about even IVS system overall with like, how do I want to run my business? And like, okay, these are the types of shoots I want to do. What does that, from getting the client all the way to fulfilling and giving them the pictures or giving the video, like have that system mapped out and the tools that you use.
Yeah, I do have one more.
Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
probably a little controversial.
I feel like I gotta pull up my chair to
Let
the
me
table
pull
to
up,
hear this
okay?
one.
It's probably a little controversial, or like some people looking or watching this might have hard feelings about it or whatever. But the people that want the discounts and want the free stuff are normally the hardest clients to work with,
Charge
in
your
my
worth.
experience.
If
Yeah.
you're a beginner,
So
charge your worth.
charge your worth, and don't do discounts unless you absolutely need to, and like have a contract and make sure that these people know what's inside the contract. Obviously, you can always fulfill more than what's inside your contract, but just don't do too much. So too much more, because then they're always going to expect it.
I mean, but don't you want to like just over deliver a little bit? Or are you talking about this specific type of client
Yeah.
that's like only shops with you when you have a discount?
So like if it's a loyalty thing, like definitely do discounts for them, especially if you feel like it's something that you want to do. But for
Well, I
the,
wasn't talking about discounts. I'm just talking about
Oh.
over deliver. I'm talking about maybe like
Oh,
you
yeah.
promise 5 photos and maybe I'm sliding you 2 more or
Right.
something. So I was
like
saying,
you promise 5, the max that I might give you extra is like a total of 10. Maybe.
oh, you just doubled it.
Yeah, I mean, it might
Okay.
be 10. It depends on
And it might
how
not.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might just be 2 extra. But it might be 10, but don't make it 20.
Right.
Don't make it a lot.
Because they're
like,
going to be expecting that every
yeah.
time.
because
Yeah.
then they're going to be like, oh, well, her package says, oh, you're only getting 5 photos. But last time she gave me 10 photos. And now I'm only going to get the 5 photos, even though I know I need the 10. And then now they actually got 5 this time.
Right.
And then they're like, well, what happened to the extra ones?
Yeah. And I'm just going in because I'm trying to like help frame the shot for those beginners that are listening and help them focus in. It sounds like, Ivy, you're talking about the people that shop with you only when you have discounts, right? Or
Yeah.
are you talking about like those loyal people that like you name your price, bam, they're ready to work with you?
So not those people, not the loyal people.
Okay.
But the people that only shop with you, not even necessarily the people that only shop with you when you have discounts, but sometimes them too. But I think to eliminate all of that is just have a contract, make sure that you go over the contract like during that preliminary call or during that call where you're letting them know that you're going to send them the contract. Let them know like the outline of it. Like, this is what I am telling, like, this is what I'm offering. This is what I can deliver. And this is the time frame that I can deliver it in. And then if you get it to them in 3 days rather than 7, like your contract says, great. And if you give them 7 pictures rather than 5, great. But the people that I feel like there's people out there that are going to be like, oh, well, what about this photo? 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 But you already delivered them way more than what you were supposed to in the first place.
So if you were talking about systems before, I wonder if like for beginners, what the lesson can be, as well as making sure you have a meeting with the client, whether it's in person or on video,
Yeah.
reminding them of the contract throughout, and then selecting those specific photos
Right.
that you're going to edit. And, you know, just keep reiterating, here's the X amount that we promise, here's what you selected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whether that's you, because some people do it a little bit differently. Some people allow the client to select the pictures. And then on certain situations, some people just select the best photos. So it just kind of just depends. Like I know, like Chrissy, you have Pixie Set, right? You allow them to select the pictures.
No. I
So you just
select it.
select them.
But when I do events and things like that, I'm not just sending them 5 images. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm sending them a whole lot more. So I'm not sending them thousands of pictures that I've took at an event for hours to
Yeah.
select. So I'm selecting them and then sending them.
Right.
So my system, everybody's system is a little bit different, but
Absolutely.
to set a system is very, very like necessary.
Yeah. And then your system changes
Yeah.
depending on if you're doing an event or if you're just doing a family
Right.
photo shoot. So it just changes.
Yeah, and I think the lesson then for beginners, like if you could summarize it for us, Ivy, and frame like what you're trying to say that was
Oh, yeah.
controversial. Like if a beginner's sitting here with us, what's the big takeaway?
Okay. So I'm probably going to mention some stuff that I didn't mention it. But the big takeaway in this is if you are going to do discounted stuff in the beginning, and if you are going to charge less than what you're worth, one, make sure that it's a project that you really want to be on. Two, make sure that you do a contract, because that will eliminate the problems in the back end.
Yeah.
Three, make sure that you meet with them before you even do the contract. So I guess I should have flipped those. Make sure that you meet with them, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in a video, or face to face.
And give us, was that it? Your top 3?
Yeah,
All right.
and don't
So-
over deliver too much.
All right.
So top 4.
You guys heard that straight from Ivy. I'm sure some lessons that she's learned from experience.
Yeah.
So you guys get to learn from us what we wish we knew so that you can get there a little bit faster. Chris, if a beginner was sitting with us at the table, anything you want to add on what Ivy gave? Like,
Yeah.
what
so
would you tell them?
I would say, see, I didn't have systems set up at all. And I didn't have community, like, well, I was nervous to ask. So, like I said, always be able to, find your tribe, as I say. But yeah, have your system set up where from the moment that the person reach out to you, a system how it's set up, how you want to, like she said, if it's going to be an event or if it's going to be branding shoot or however it is,
Right.
from the time you get that call, returning the call, the invoice, the contract, the contract, then the invoice. And then even at the end, circling back and,
Yes,
to
follow
get their
up is key.
feedback. Yeah. Always, hello, get your BTS. When you start out, you forget that, but that's part of the journey
Yes.
too. I'm strong on that. And a lot of my photography, sisterhood or sometimes brotherhood, I be like, listen, just don't forget to get the testimonies too. Like when the shoot is over. But if we had it written out, I'm kind of like pen to pad. If you have that written out in your systems, you'll remember like, okay, I go in there. Also a checklist for me is like when I leave the house, like I'm gonna be honest, I did that the last episode, re-recorded. I forgot my tripod for my phone.
Right.
But if I had that, and this podcast is just new too.
Right.
So I need a checklist for this. So when I leave the house, I know I need my tripod. So I'm speaking to me too. So as a beginner, just it's okay to write all this stuff down if you need to. What else? On the shoot, once you get there, like I said, the BTS and stuff like that. Or even if it was a situation where the client, maybe they didn't like it and just say, it can happen, right? We have that. What can we do to fix it? Have that in your system of, how you want to handle that. That's something good to do too.
I've never thought about that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you're talking, like you guys can't see this with my phone.
Yeah.
You guys see podcast.
Yes.
This is everything
Yeah.
on this list is everything that we use for the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So I
And
wrote
that's
this
good.
list last night, like remember to bring all these things.
Yeah. And I feel like that stuff like that is necessary. And, just learning, I didn't have anybody really to teach that. So that's just little things for a beginner. And I think it will help you along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those are some really great things to share with beginners. I don't even know if I can add to that list, maybe expound on it just a little bit, especially just since I did have that example. It's just having a list. Whether, like Chris said, whether it's like, what do you bring with you to prep? And I guess I should be looking at you guys. So have a list of what do you bring to prep. Have a list of the shots that you want to take for your shoot or your event.
You always tell
And,
me that, Ivy, the shot
a
list.
shot list.
Yes.
And and have
Yeah.
and have a list for Even like, you know what helps with this list of like what to take, what you need to remember to bring back, because there's been times I've been working, and we were talking about community earlier, that I've actually forgotten stuff, or somebody took something that was mine, and probably not intentionally, we just and in the rush of closing up, we're like, who does this go to? And I wasn't checking like, all right, here's all the things that I had. So lists definitely do help you stay organized.
Yeah.
All right, so let's shift a little bit, you guys, to like what's off the table. What's off the table for you guys? And this isn't our lightning round, but just talk around some topics. What do you see there? And there, for those of you guys who are listening, Chris and Ivy are looking at some of our notes. What's off the table for you?
On what we wish we would have known. Is that what you mean?
Yep. So if you take a look, what's off the table on what you wish you knew. So like it's a learning journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a learning journey. So like for me, because I talked about what I should have done or what I wish I knew before I started, it's not as many eyes looking at me. So like there's some type of like comparison, some type of shame. So like shame around comparison is off the table for me. Or even shame around like not knowing what to do is off the table for me. So what about for you guys? And there's some suggestions there on our outline. You want to grab any of those topics or add in your own? Segment number 3.
Oh, sorry. We went all the way down.
Oh, okay.
I think for me, it would be
All right, so let's pause really quickly because I'm going to do an edit here. All right, so let's shift and talk about what's off the table. All right, Ivy, so what are some of the things that are off the table for you?
I think for me, what's off the table is, especially in the beginning, well, period, but especially in the beginning, being afraid to start and not having systems in place.
Okay. What's off the table now, Chris, as you're starting and venturing into something new, whether it's a new year, new month, new customer?
Off the table? Quitting?
Yes.
Quitting.
Yes.
I said it not confident,
Yes.
and then I'm like, quitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely off the table.
Absolutely. I love that one. And for me, like comparison to others, like putting myself out there. I probably, out of the 3 of us, probably post to social media the least. Nobody needs to try to beat me to the table. Ivy's going to say no.
No,
It's probably
definitely
her,
me.
but well, you post to your stories though. I don't even post to my stories.
But I don't post my stuff to the stories. I just post.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say there is just like, because I've compared myself to others, because I've had this shame around like, oh, my work is not at this level of, this expert that's been shooting for 2.5 decades. I haven't shared the process, so that's off the table for me. Anything else?
For me, as far as off the table, I can't think of
Nothing
anything
else? All right. Chris will give you another chance to answer if you like, but if not, we're going to hop quickly into our lightning round.
Let's go to the lightning round.
All right. So you guys, in this round, we do what's on or off the table, but this time I'm going to ask one of you, let me know who wants to volunteer first. It's going to be, I wish I knew blank was, and I'm going to give you a sentence with a blank and you're going to fill it in.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Chris? All right. I wish I knew blank was part of the process.
I wish I knew time. A lot of time
Was a part of the process. All right. I wish I knew blank would take time.
Ooh. I'm gonna put editing, and the reason why I say that, like, because I started out just on my own, like just sitting and editing videos and clips and stuff for myself. I did it because it was helping me, but then when it came to the part, I know I was just supposed to answer and keep going, but I want to say why.
Yeah.
So then when you put a lot of time into editing, because where that perfection thing comes in, and you don't realize sometimes it can be a couple days that you're like, okay, this isn't good, whatever. So to answer that, like, I wish I knew blank would take time. So I'm going to say editing.
All right.
Would take a lot of time.
Yes. And then last one, I wish I knew blank was not failure.
Pausing.
Ooh. I wish I
to
knew
pause.
pausing was not failure.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we need rest for
Yeah.
so many different reasons.
Yeah.
So,
When you have a lot of projects going on and stuff, you might just need a pause.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Ivy, you are up next. So I'm going to give you 3 of these statements. Expound on one like Chris did, whichever one it feels like I got to go in there. So I wish I knew blank was a part of the process.
I wish I knew fear was a part of the process and not the end, or not like the end all be all.
Yes. All right. I wish I knew blank would take time.
I wish I knew building a clientele would take time. Like building a solid clientele would take time.
Yeah.
All right. And then I wish I knew blank was not failure.
I wish I knew struggling was not failure.
I feel like that's one, like, you have to laugh. So, like, expound for us there.
Yeah. Just struggling through the process is like, all of that is part of the process, but it's also not failure if you don't give up. So,
and I think through your struggles, you've created some really great images.
yeah.
So way to push through. All right. You guys have the notes. Hit me with the questions, one of you or both of you.
I can do it.
All right.
Unless you
You
want to.
take one, I'll take one.
Okay. So, Ruby, if you could answer these questions for us, fill in the blank for our lightning round, and then.
Hello, we have a visitor who came here. All right, go ahead. I'm
And
gonna
then
keep answering.
expand on one like we did. I wish I knew blank would take time.
I wish I knew building confidence would take time. Yeah. All right, you guys, we had a brief intermission, and we are just going to jump into our takeaways. If I could go back, what would you tell yourself about starting? So for me, if I could go back, I would tell myself to share my work more when I started. What about you, Ivy? If you could go back, what would you tell yourself about starting?
I definitely think I would tell myself to share my work more, but also to just push through the fear.
Okay, both of those.
All right.
Definitely I would. For me, I would just like speak affirmations over myself. Like, you can do this, you got this, push through. I would just write down, and it would help with the fear and the confidence and all the things that you need when you're first starting out. Because you need it. You do.
Excellent. All right, you guys. After listening to this episode, I want you guys to tell us what you wish you knew when you started and what are you learning now. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of At the Creative Table. We'll meet you guys in the comments. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.